I think a success story um, not only belongs to me but belongs to everybody else, because there are non-immigrant students who are pushing it even more than immigrant students for reform or for justice for immigrants. I think that's a success story. The fact that this whole idea, this whole concept of immigration has impacted so many people to the point that people who are not directly affected by it are putting in the time, the effort, the sweat, to push for an immigration reform for those people that they might know or might be related to. I would be broke. College education is not easy to pay for. At a community college, it says that it's a little more affordable. However, without all the resources and benefits that I get from AB 540 and the California Dream Act, I don't think I would be able to pursue a higher education, because it is frankly really expensive, especially because my family is a very low income family. I'm one of the sole providers, so not only would I have had to provide for my family, and I did for a while, but I would have also had to pay about $2,000 a semester if I wanted to take about 3 classes, and that doesn't include transportation or books. So family to me is very important, and if I would ever get separated from my mom or my dad, my brother would stay here with me, but if I would get separated from my parents, I don't know. I can't answer that. What I do know that is it's a very difficult situation, and it's just sad that in a way, this nation as a whole is okay with doing that, separating families, separating kids from their mothers. Seeing that mothers are very vital to children, especially children of a young age, from months old to, let's say, the teens at least. So it's really sad to me, and I think that I will definitely be pretty devastated. And I did get separated from my parents for a while. I'm not going to go into depth, but it was the most horrific thing that I've gone through.
Well, I mean, when you look at all the different students that we've had come through the Ideas Club, the undocumented students who are now at UC Berkeley, I mean, I think we have 3 or 4 of them that are at UC Berkeley right now. To me, that's a tremendous success story, because that's one of the hardest four-year colleges to get into, and that tells you the quality of students that we have in the undocumented community here at Mount SAC. And I've seen personal lives be transformed by the DACA. I've seen people that emotionally were a wreck because they had to hide in the shadows. They couldn't drive their car without fear of having it confiscated if they were stopped by the police. They could not get any kind of a normal job, a good paying job. They had to have under the table jobs with less than minimum wage. And now that they have the DACA, they're able to apply to any job that they qualify for, make much more per hour. They're able to qualify for all kinds of financial aid that they weren't previously open to. And it's just opening their lives in so many ways and helping them to attain their academic goals in ways that helps them mentally, emotionally, and in every way, spiritually too. I mean, it's been wonderful. So there's many, many cases that I've seen. That this country is a country of immigrants. If you look at the history of this country, from Plymouth Rock all the way through, the beginning of this country, 1776, we're talking about people that have come here from other countries, from Europe, from England, from different parts of the world. And so it's kind of ironic, in my opinion, that we have we have immigrants who don't like immigrants. Basically, if you look at who your ancestors are, they didn't come from this country unless you're an indigenous person whose ancestors were in the indigenous peoples. And so if your ancestors came to this country and were welcomed in this country, even though they didn't have any kind of papers, why would you be so against other people coming into this country in a similar kind of a way? This country is known for its plurality, for having all kinds of different cultures welcome here. In other words, what makes this country so special is the way in which we all are able to get along with each other, even though we're so different, even though we come from different places, speak different languages at home, we eat different kinds of foods. And so I think that it's really important for people that oppose immigration reform to realize that they need to be aware that their forefathers came from somewhere else, and that these people here were actually here before the Europeans were here. If you talk about, especially talk about the Latino culture, Mexico, this was actually part of Mexico before. And due to political instability in Mexico, it was taken over by what became the United States. And so I think it's important that we have a wider perspective, and that we see that there's nothing wrong with immigration, and it makes this country a stronger country.
The current immigration reform bill that we have right now is not beneficial to our communities at all. It is actually going to endanger our communities more. It makes it very easy for people to apply, but not to reach the final goal, which is citizenship. And unfortunately, the bill is set up with many barriers and cracks along the way, the 13-year path that it takes for them to potentially reach that goal. And if they don't reach the goal, unfortunately, it leads to deportation. So that's the bad about the current immigration reform that we have right now. Now, a good immigration reform for us would not do any of that stuff. It would actually set a fair and obtainable path to immigration, for citizenship. That's essentially what we want. We want it to be fair and attainable. The current one that we have is not. I came into the country when I was 12 years old. I didn't speak any of English, and somehow I'm here at Mount San Antonio College. I'm on my way to hopefully transfer to UCLA next year, where I plan to graduate with a math degree. I want to teach at the high school level and then at the university level. I think that would be the biggest success story that I have for me being able to make it here all the way up to Mount San Antonio College, and expecting to graduate next year and then transfer out. If it wasn't for 8540, I would not be standing here talking to you. There is no way that my family or myself would have been able to afford tuition to come here to Mount San Antonio College. We can't pay the national fees. It's a ridiculous amount of money for our communities. So yeah, it would not be realistic.
Well, it's helped me to come to college because I didn't know that there are a lot of resources here. I'm undocumented, so it has helped me to attend college and get my education in order to take the classes that I need, and it allows me to get an education. Oh wow, they think it's great and they're very proud of me. I'm actually the first member of the family to attend college. Well, yes, it's definitely tough because I don't have the same resources. I don't have the same resources. I still have some resources here that they give me at school, but there's a lot more resources that I need. It's tough. It's tough. It's really tough because I don't know where I stand. I'm undocumented, I'm also deaf, and then you have the hearing world. It's a lot. I don't know exactly where I'm supposed to fit in at times. I went to a retreat and I feel like I was left out. I wasn't really involved in the activities there. The last day of that retreat that I attended, there was a meeting with the board, there was a panel, and one of the board members said to me that undocumented students don't have a place here at Mount Sac, and that made me very angry. I didn't say anything at the time. Some of the people there, I was able to tell a few people how I felt, and I started to realize that I'm like those other people that I was giving my story to, because sometimes I can't share the same viewpoint with others that are not in the same situation I am. So when talking to other people that are in the same situation I am, I feel a lot more comfortable. Yes, I do believe that. Somehow I believe that I will have the pursuit of happiness. So yes.